Hello, welcome to Microsoft Azure Cloud channel. In this module, we will talk about Microsoft Azure Administrator and Microsoft Azure Architect, interview questions and answers. This is part 1. This module has about 25 questions in part 1. What is cloud computing? Cloud computing is the on-demand availability of computer system resources, especially data storage and computing power, without direct active management by the user. The term is generally used to describe data centers available to many users over the internet. Simply put, cloud computing is the delivery of computing services, including servers, storage, databases, networking, software, analytics, and intelligence over the internet to offer faster innovation, flexible resources, and economies of scale. You typically pay only for cloud services you use, helping you lower your operating costs, run your infrastructure more efficiently, and scale as your business needs change. What are the different cloud deployment models? Public cloud, private cloud, and hybrid cloud. Let's talk about public cloud. Public cloud, as the name suggests, this type of cloud deployment model supports all users who want to make use of computing resource such as hardware or software on a subscription basis. Most common uses of public clouds are for application development and testing, non-mission critical tasks such as file sharing and email service. Private cloud. Private cloud, true to its name, a private cloud is typically infrastructure used by a single organization. Such infrastructure may be managed by the organization itself to support various user groups, or it could be managed by a service provider that takes care of it either on-site or off-site. Private clouds are more expensive than public clouds due to the capital expenditure involved in acquiring and maintaining them. However, private clouds are better able to address the security and privacy concerns of organizations today. Hybrid cloud. An organization makes use of interconnected private and public cloud infrastructure. Many organizations make use of this model when they need to scale up their IT infrastructure rapidly, such as when leveraging public clouds to supplement the capacity available within a private cloud. For example, if an online retailer needs more computing resources to run its web applications during the holiday season, it may attain those resources via public clouds. What are the different types of services offered in the cloud? IaaS, PaaS, SaaS. IaaS, infrastructure as a service, PaaS, platform as a service, SaaS, software as a service. IaaS is a cloud computing model where virtualized infrastructure is offered to and managed for businesses by external cloud providers. With IaaS, companies can outsource for storages, servers, data center space, and cloud networking components connected through the internet, offering similar functionality as that of an on-premises infrastructure. Some examples of the wide usage of IaaS are automated, policy-driven operations such as backup, recovery, monitoring, clustering, internal networking, website hosting. What is the platform as a service? PaaS. PaaS builds on IaaS. Cloud vendors deliver computing resources, both cloud software and hardware infrastructure components like middleware and operating systems required to develop and test applications. The PaaS environment enables cloud users to install and host datasets, development tools, and business analytics applications. Some key players offering PaaS are Bluemix, Cloudbees, Salesforce.com, Google App Engine, AWS, and Microsoft Azure. What is software as a service? Software as a service allows users to connect and use cloud-based apps over the internet. Common examples are email, calendaring, and office tools such as Microsoft Office 365. What is Azure Virtual Machine? Azure Virtual Machines are image service instances that provide on-demand and scalable computing resources with usage-based pricing. More broadly, a virtual machine behaves like a server. It is a computer within a computer that provides the user the same experience they would have on the host operating system itself. Azure Virtual Machines is one of several types of on-demand, scalable computing resources that Azure offers. An Azure Virtual Machine gives you the flexibility of virtualization without having to buy and maintain the physical hardware that runs it. However, you still need to maintain the virtual machine by performing tasks such as configuring, patching, and installing the software that runs on it. What is an availability set? Availability sets ensure that the Azure virtual machines are deployed across multiple isolated hardware nodes in a cluster. By deploying your virtual machines across multiple hardware nodes, Azure ensures that if hardware or software failure happens within Azure, only a subset of your virtual machines are impacted and your overall solution is safe and in working condition. Availability set provides redundancy for your virtual machines. Availability set spreads your virtual machines across multiple fault domains and update domains. If you want to leverage Microsoft's 99.95% SLA from Microsoft, you must place your virtual machines inside availability set except your virtual machines are having premium storage. What are fault domain and update domain? Fault domain define the group of virtual machines that share a common power source and network switch. Each and every fault domain contains some racks and each rack contains virtual machine. Each of these fault domains shares a power supply and a network switch. If there is a failure in the fault domain, then all the resources in the fault domain become unavailable. You should place your virtual machines such a way that each fault domain get one web server, one database server, and like that. Update domain. Virtual machines get update domains automatically once they are put inside availability set. All virtual machines within that update domain will reboot together. Update domains are used for patching of virtual machines. Only one update domain would be updated at the time. How to back up your virtual machines? Azure is a backup as a service offering that protects physical or virtual machines no matter where they reside, on premises or in the cloud. The Azure Backup Service provides simple, secure, and cost-effective solutions to back up your data and recover it from the Microsoft Azure cloud. Azure Backup can be used for a wide range of data backup scenarios, such as the following: files and folders on Windows OS machines, application-aware snapshots, popular Microsoft Server workloads such as Microsoft SQL Server, Microsoft SharePoint, and Microsoft Exchange. Native support for Azure virtual machines, both Windows and Linux. What is a network security group? You can use Azure Network Security Group to filter network traffic to and from Azure resources in an Azure virtual network. A network security group contains security rules that allow or deny inbound network traffic to or outbound network traffic from several types of Azure resources. For each rule, you can specify source and destination, port, and protocol. Security groups can be associated to a network interface, a subnet in the virtual network, or both levels. What is the Azure CLI? The Azure command line interface is a set of commands used to create and manage Azure resources. The Azure CLI is available across Azure services and is designed to get you working quickly with Azure with an emphasis on automation. The Azure CLI is Microsoft's cross-platform command line tool for managing Azure resources. It is available for Mac OS, Linux, and Windows, or in the browser using Azure Cloud Shell. The Azure CLI can help you manage Azure resources such as virtual machines and disks from the command line or in scripts. What is Azure Virtual Networking? An Azure Virtual Network is a representation of your own network in the cloud. It is a logical isolation of the Azure cloud dedicated to your subscription. You can use virtual network to provision and manage virtual private networks in Azure and optionally links with VNets with other VNets in Azure. Azure Virtual Networks provide key networking capabilities, isolation and segmentation, internet communications, communicate between Azure resources, communicate with on-premises resources, route network traffic, filter network traffic, connect virtual networks. What is a VPN gateway? A VPN gateway is a specific type of virtual network gateway that is used to send encrypted traffic between an Azure virtual network and on-premises location over the public internet. You can also use a VPN gateway to send encrypted traffic between Azure virtual networks over the Microsoft network. Each virtual network can have only one VPN gateway. However, you can create multiple connections to the same VPN gateway. When you create multiple connections to the same VPN gateway, all VPN tunnels share the available gateway bandwidth. What is Azure ExpressRoute? ExpressRoute lets you extend your on-premises networks into the Microsoft cloud or a private connection facilitated by a connectivity provider. With an Azure ExpressRoute, you can establish connections to Microsoft cloud services such as Microsoft Azure and Office 365. Microsoft Azure ExpressRoute enables organizations to extend their on-premises networks into the Microsoft cloud over a private connections implemented by a connectivity provider. This arrangement means that the connectivity to the Azure data centers doesn't go over the internet, but across a dedicated link. What are Azure Resource Manager and Resource Manager template? Azure Resource Manager. Azure Resource Manager is the interface for managing and organizing cloud resources. Think of Resource Manager as a way to deploy cloud resources. Resource Manager template. A Resource Manager template precisely defines all the managed resources in your deployment. You can deploy a Resource Manager template into a resource group as a single operation. A Resource Manager template is a JSON file, making it a form of declarative automation. What are the disk types? Azure Managed Disk are the new recommended disk storage offering for use with Azure Virtual Machines for persistent data storage. There are three disk types: premium SSD disk, standard SSD, standard HDD storage. And there are two types: managed and unmanaged. There are four types in managed disk: ultra disk storage, premium SSD, standard SSD, and standard HDD. Premium SSD disk. Premium SSD disks are backed by solid-state drives and deliver high-performance, low-latency disk support for virtual machines running input-intensive workloads. Standard SSD. Premium storage is limited to specific virtual machine sizes, so the virtual machine type you create will impact the storage capabilities, size, max capacity, and storage type. Standard HDD storage. Standard HDD disks are backed by traditional hard disk drives. Standard hard disk drives disks are built at a lower rate than the premium disk. Standard hard disk drives can be used with any virtual machine. How to monitor the health of the virtual machine? You can use Azure Monitor to view metrics on all your Azure resources. Metrics are numerical values that help you understand the health, operation, and performance of your virtual machines. You can choose a specific metric and see a graph of that metric in the Azure portal. What is Azure Diagnostics extension? Azure Diagnostics extension is an agent in Azure Monitor that collects monitoring data from the guest operating systems of Azure compute resources, including virtual machines. The Azure Diagnostics extension allows you to collect real-time performance metrics from the guest operating system along with log events and store the results in an Azure storage account. You can add the extension for Linux or Windows when you create the virtual machine in Azure. What are the Azure storage types? There are four Azure storage types: blocks, files, queues, and table storage. There are several advantages to using Azure storage irrespective of type. Azure storage is easily scalable, extremely flexible, and relatively low in cost depending on the options you choose. Blobs, a massively scalable object store for text and binary data, can include support for Azure Data Lake storage generation too. Files, managed file shares for cloud or on-premises deployments. Queues, a messaging store for reliable messaging between application components. Table storage, a NoSQL store for schemaless storage of structured data. Table storage is not covered in my modules, but you can go to Storage Explorer video. You can check that table storage, how the table storage works. What is virtual network peering? Virtual network peering enables you to seamlessly connect networks in Azure Virtual Network. The virtual networks appear as one for connectivity purposes. The traffic between virtual machines uses the Microsoft's backbone infrastructure. You can use virtual network peering to directly connect Azure virtual networks. When you use peering to connect virtual networks, virtual machines in these networks can communicate with each other as if they were in the same network. In peered virtual networks, traffic between virtual machines is routed through the Azure network. What is Traffic Manager? Azure Traffic Manager operates at the DNS layer to quickly and efficiently direct incoming DNS requests based on the routing method of your choice. Azure Traffic Manager offers 6 types of DNS-based traffic routing: priority, performance, geographic, weighted round-robin, subnet, and multi-value. Traffic Manager can improve the availability of important applications by monitoring your Azure services or external websites and services and automatically directing users to the next best locations when there is a failure. Azure Traffic Manager is a DNS-based traffic load balancer that enables you to distribute traffic optimally to services across global Azure regions while providing high availability and responsiveness. What is Azure Load Balancer? An Azure Load Balancer is a layer 4 load balancer that provides high availability by distributing incoming traffic among healthy virtual machines. A load balancer helps probe monitors a given port on each virtual machine and only distributes traffic to an operational virtual machine. Azure Load Balancer is a service you can use to distribute traffic across multiple virtual machines. Use Load Balancer to scale applications and create high availability for your virtual machines and services. Load balancers use a hash-based distribution algorithm. What are the internal and external load balancer? External load balancer. An external load balancer operates by distributing client traffic across multiple virtual machines. An external load balancer permits traffic from the internet. The traffic might come from browsers, module apps, or other sources. Internal load balancer. An internal load balancer distributes a load from internal Azure resources to other Azure resources. For example, if you have front-end web servers that need to call business logic that is hosted on multiple middle-tier servers, you can distribute that load evenly by using an internal load balancer. No traffic is allowed from internet sources. What is the application gateway? Azure Application Gateway is a web traffic load balancer that enables you to manage traffic to your web applications. Traditional load balancer operate at the transport layer and route traffic based on source IP address and port to a destination IP address and port. Application Gateway manages the requests that client applications can send to a web app. Application Gateway routes traffic to a pool of web servers based on the URL of a request. This is known as application layer routing. The pool of web servers can be Azure Virtual Machines, Azure Virtual Machine Scale Set, Azure App Service, and even on-premises servers. What is Network Virtual Appliance? Network virtual appliances or NVAs are virtual machines that control the flow of network traffic by controlling routing. An NVA often includes various protection layers like a firewall, a WAN optimizer, application delivery controllers, routers, load balancer, proxies, and SD-WAN edge. Explain public and private IP addressing in Azure. Public IP addresses allow Azure resources to communicate with Internet and other Azure public-facing services like Azure Redis Cache. Private IP addresses allows communication between resources in a virtual network along with those connected through a VPN without using an Internet routable IP addresses. Use a public IP address for public-facing services. A public address can be either static or dynamic. A public IP address can be assigned to a virtual machine, an internet-facing load balancer, a VPN gateway, or an application gateway. Private IP addresses are used for communication within a virtual network. Private IP addresses are used within Azure Virtual Network, virtual networks, and your on-premises networks. They can be set to dynamic or static. Explain site-to-site, point-to-site, and ExpressRoute connection. Site-to-site connection. You can use a site-to-site connection for cross-premises and hybrid network configuration. This connection topology requires an on-premises VPN device to have a publicly accessible IP address and must not be behind a NAT. The connections uses a secret ASCII string for up to 128 characters to authenticate between gateway and the VPN device. Point to site. A point to site connection is suited to a remote individual client device that connects to your network. You must authenticate the client device either through Azure Active Directory or by using Azure Certificate Authentication. This module suits home working scenarios. ExpressRoute. ExpressRoute creates a direct connection between your on-premises network and the Azure Virtual Network that doesn't use the internet. It doesn't travel over the internet. Those connections, ExpressRoute connections, doesn't travel over the internet. So we covered all 25 questions in this part 1. So other part of questions available in next session. If you like this video, please comment and subscribe the channel. If you have any questions or concerns, please post it in the comment section. Please like and subscribe the channel. Thank you.